That's weird. That's crazy. Why did that open? I'm gonna close this. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Okay, so here we go. Let me fix this right quick. I'll just put that there. Gonna put that there. I'm gonna change this. Oh, you know what? I'm not even doing this in studio mode, so hold up. I'm still working. Jeez Louise. Put this chat like right there. Let's see. We'll just do cancel, minimize that. We'll add a display capture. Sure. Whatever. Primary capture cursor. Sure. Isn't there a thing that says don't show OBS? It's not showing up, so we're just going to cancel that. Dump that. Window capture. Let's see, we'll just go here. Chrome. Can I do... It's supposed to have... It's supposed to have like... whatever. Okay, so we are streaming, so then I can't look at the chat. I don't have another monitor. Whatever. Turn off, cancel. Oops. Turn off studio mode. And hopefully we don't need. If I do, then I'll just show you. My studio mode is fine. It should be fine. Let me start recording. Okay. Turn on studio mode. Oh, that's really bright. Okay, what's up, everybody? All right, I'm back. It took me a minute to set this up, kind of, because I am not in my studio. My studio is being occupied right now, so let's see what's going on. All right, so I'm in my living room, and we're gonna finish talking about this. Hopefully, we can do it rather quickly because I got places to go, got people to see. Yes, I. What Sunstyle looks like. I mean, it looks a little better. I maybe could use a little more. Saturations all the way around, contrast is on. So let me do that. I feel like saturation. Crazy. Oh, that's sharpness. I could work with that. Okie dokie. That looks better. Okay, so I'm in my living room and we're talking about my podcast setups. And so basically, if you didn't catch the first video earlier this morning, I was showing you that you can pretty much do everything. You can do a podcast straight from your phone by just recording the audio using a voice memo app, and then you can also export it and send it to your computer if you want to edit. You can edit on your phone as well, and you can even upload from your phone. So essentially, all you really need is your phone. If you're just doing audio, then your best bet is just to have your phone close to your mouth, and that way it captures really clear audio. Try not to be in an open room like with bare floor, bare ceiling, or low ceiling, I should say, because all of your audio is going to bounce everywhere, and then it's going to come back, and you'll get something like reverb, which doesn't necessarily sound that great. You want crystal clear audio that sounds like you're in a studio. And so some things you can do to help that is be in a carpeted room. You can, if you have stuff mounted on your walls that kind of absorb the sound, maybe in a much more open room with a higher ceiling, so that way the sound waves are not, when they travel, they they travel a lot further, and then as they travel further, they dissipate more and more. Um, but some if you don't have a big room, and there is a lot of what's it called, reverb coming in, you hear like the echo or whatever, it sounds really bad, doesn't sound nice and clean, then what you can do is you can cover yourself in a blanket, make like a tent, a blanket tent, and then just record that way. So that way the blanket's going to absorb all the sound waves. You can hang, if you have stands or if you have a way to hang blankets around you. That's another way that you can do it. For the most part, you want to make sure that the sound waves that are coming from you speaking are not bouncing off the walls and coming back into the microphone, and that's what creates that unwanted, unpleasant, like low quality, amateur-ish audio. So that's just one thing for as far as audio coming from your phone. Of course, you want the microphone, your phone, as close as possible, so that way you get the cleanest sound. You don't want, the further you are from the microphone, then the worse the audio will be. Just like how I'm using this microphone here, this microphone is close. If I were using the camera microphone, then it wouldn't sound as good. It wouldn't sound as clear. So those are just best practices as far as like how to get the best audio quality. If you want to incorporate video, that's a whole nother thing. You can use any camera. You can use your phone. Again, I'm always going back, zero budget. You got no money to spend. You can use your phone. Now, of course, if you're by yourself, obviously you can have the phone pretty close to you, whether you're doing selfie mode, portrait mode, whatever. If you're podcasting with another person, obviously the phone's going to have to be a lot further away because you want to fit both of yous on the screen. And so all of that just kind of like depends. And then also another thing, if you the further away you put your phone, then you might not want to grab audio from the phone. You might want to get yourself some kind of microphone that you can connect to your phone. They do have adapters where you can connect to your phone, and it comes out to like you can hook up like one of these microphones. You can hook up like a wireless lavalier to your phone. I have something like that. I can show you what that that looks like as well. So there's that. Let me just check some things real quick. And Santiago, I think, is watching. Close unusual experiencing performance issues. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? Lord have mercy. So let me go here. Here we go. And let me go here. Copy. Let me open another one. Okay, so first option is using your phone. If you've got no money, use your phone. If you've got $1, use your phone. If you've got $100, use your phone. You're better off using that money towards something else. Like you might want to invest in like advertising your podcast. So I would just focus on not buying any gear if you have a phone already. Even if you have a low quality phone, then just use it and try it out, see how it feels. Make a few episodes, make like, I don't know, 5 to 10 episodes, and then post it on Spotify, post it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and see how it goes. before you start investing, because once you start investing, it's like you're never going to get that money back. Even if you try to sell the items, you're not going to get what you paid for. A lot of people think just because it's brand new, just because you used it once, that it still holds the brand new value. It doesn't. It does not. So don't fall into that mistake. I see a lot of posts on Marketplace like, this guy is like, I was like, yeah, let me see if he'll take, I usually offer like just below market value, depending on what the item is, right? If like I don't really need it, or maybe if like there's so many on the market that somebody's gonna budge, so I usually offer below market value. But there's people who are setting prices like as if the items were brand new, even if it's like let me see. There's an ADD. I was gonna. Well, no, it was a 90. No, it was an ADD. It was just a long time ago before I got my ADD, and I think. Let's see. Okay, no, 90D. I think it was a 90. Recently, it was 90D. I was thinking about getting a 90D. Canon 90D release date. So the Canon 90D came out in 2019. So I mean, it's not that old, but it's still like in August 2019. We're in 2025. So that was like 5 years ago and some months. That, you know, in technology age, that camera is old. It's old. It's a 5-year-old camera, and so it's like, why are you selling it as if it were new? Oh, I only used it once. Everything is pretty much brand new. I'm like, okay, but it's not, you know. Even if you used it once, even if you didn't use it, it's still not brand new. It's like it's been sitting there for how many years? Are the batteries still good? How good are the batteries if they are still working, right? Um, and so like, I don't know, whatever. I digress. So yeah, start with your phone and see how it goes. See how you feel. Because you got this is something you got to keep doing and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing, because otherwise, you make one episode, you buy all this equipment, you make one or maybe even 5 or even 10 episodes, and it's like, I'm tired of it. I want to do something else. But then now you have invested in all this equipment. I'm just looking out for you. All right. So, anyways, so the next thing, if you want to upgrade from your phone, again, if we're only talking about audio, then you can start looking into USB microphones. Actually, before we get into USB microphones, let's continue using our phone. However, let's find things that we can connect to our phone, so that way maybe we can upgrade the audio to our phone. So let's go on Amazon and have a gander. Let's see. Let me go back to OBS, and then I will go into studio mode and show you. I wish this would. I wish this would. Let me get rid of that multiple. Yeah. Properties, nope. Filters, nope. Close. I don't know why it doesn't do it here. On the Mac, it says it has an option to not show OBS, but whatever. We're just going to show OBS. No big deal. So let's just get right to it. So here we go. We got, you guys can see that, Amazon. We got Amazon open. We're gonna look for. Okay, so if we have an Apple iPhone, if it's an older one, Lightning microphone. I don't know. Let's see. So this one, here's like a lav that connects to your iPhone. 40 bucks, 681 purchase or reviews, 4.3 out of 5. That's not bad. You've got these little guys over here. The Boyas are pretty popular. I've heard a lot of things about them. 55 bucks for a set like this. Now you can hook this up to your iPhone and you can have two people sitting on a podcast. So and then you can use your iPhone as the video camera, and so the microphones will be close. You can either clip them or you can hold them, like I see a lot of influencers do. So there's that. Are you able to see that? Let me see. Why is my video capture? I'm gonna put myself up here. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of options. Looks like this one. It's kind of like. This one has an adapter for lightning, so I don't know, maybe it might work. So if you want to hook this kind of microphone up to your phone, and you can monitor the audio too. Interesting. So let's see. I don't see it. I don't see a picture of it connected to a phone, but you know, it might be an option. How much is this thing? 25 bucks. Let's see what else. So there's plenty of options. Obviously, I haven't tried any of these. I would say maybe the Boya wireless stuff might be your. Where is it? Where did it go? Why did it disappear? Did everything change? What the heck? The Boya went missing. Here's a much more well-known brand, Godox, which I haven't. Godox. It's hit or miss with Godox. Sometimes their stuff works. Sometimes it doesn't last long. Sometimes it lasts long. I don't know. There's also if you got a little bit more money, you got a bigger budget for microphones for your phone, you can look into like Hollyland. These Larks, I've heard good things about the Larks. You can get like the Rode DJI. Those are really good as well. So like the Rode, I like the Rode. What is it? The Rode Mic Pro. Where is it? Wireless. Rode Wireless Pro. Rode. Go to no. Where is it? Wireless Pro. I think it's this one. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty costly. This is expensive, but this one's really good because it has internal recording and it's 32-bit float recording. Let me see where it says that. This one sucks. Here we go. Where is it? Here we go. Advanced 32-bit float recording. So what you can do is you can record straight to your phone, right? The audio gets sent to your phone, and then also you can record internally to each device, and then that gets you 32-bit float recording. 32-bit float recording. What is that? Well, it's what happens is, we had 16 and 24-bit in the past, and we still have that now. 24-bit is really good. However, 32-bit float gives us a much wider range to record, like levels on the lower end and levels on the higher end. And then not only that, but if someone like screams, talks very loudly, or someone's really soft spoken, instead of having to adjust your position from the microphone, then what the float does, it follows the dynamics of the person speaking. Whether they're speaking high, it's going to go so that way it doesn't clip, and it also it decreases like the noise floor. So that's the cool thing about 32-bit float. So that I would recommend these guys. I think DJI has a 32-bit float as well. I haven't used them. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see. Is it these guys? Yeah, this one also has 32-bit float. Again, we're talking about $350. You can connect this to your phone. You can connect it to your camera. Very, very versatile, these things. I have a set from Ceramonic. They sent it to me, and that's what I used for my voiceovers for when I was in Ecuador. All the videos that I did, those like travel videos, I used that microphone. They're very similar to this. It's very, very similar. You know, I had this connected to either my laptop. I also had it connected to my phone. And then I would just record the audio that way. You can do street interviews if you want to do street interviews with this. It's a really great option if you want to continue using your phone, not just for podcasting, but for content creating. And then you've got high quality audio being sent to your video recordings on your phone. Oh, the Matrix. Okay, I'm showing you everything now. Where did we go? Oh, this is my audio recorder that I'm using right now. I was getting a driver. So let's see what else is there for the phone. That's pretty much it. There's wireless options. There's handheld options. I'm pretty sure there's like a, let me see, hand. Hand. Let me see. Dynamic microphone for iPhone. And then there's also Type-C, not just for iPhone, but like, you know, Android as well. So let's see something like this. Dynamic microphones are great. Now let's talk about, you know, these bigger microphones, something that you might see on a stage, something you might see a professional use in a professional studio, a professional environment. If you don't have a sound-treated room, I definitely recommend you use a dynamic microphone. If you have a sound-treated room and there's not a lot of activity going on around you, like your neighbors, maybe a dog barking, so and such and whatever, then you can use a condenser microphone, a powered condenser microphone, because those are a lot clearer. Like those are much more clear than dynamic microphones. Dynamic microphones sound like, a lot of times they sound very muffled, and so you have to do some like post processing to kind of clean it up. Maybe do like a low bypass, or not a bypass, but like a low cutoff, and then, or a high pass filter, you know, so that the higher frequencies can overpower the lower frequencies and it can sound pretty balanced. So depending on how, like, what you're sending your audio through, you might want to consider a dynamic or a condenser microphone. But also, a dynamic microphone is not going to pick up your environment. A condenser microphone is going to pick up your environment. So something like this is a dynamic microphone. They look like stage mics. This one looks like this one can plug in USB. I only see a Type-C. I don't necessarily see an iPhone. I'm not sure if it'll work for a phone. It says Windows, Mac, PS4, USB. Not sure if it'll work on a mobile device. Maybe an Android. Not sure on iPhone. $60 is not bad. But again, I don't know what this sounds like. It might sound good. It might not. Let's see what the reviews say. I mean, 1,300 ratings. 4.4 stars. That's not bad at all. So dynamic microphones. Consider a dynamic microphone if you don't have a sound treated room. And we're still talking about USB microphones. So now USBs, if you want to start using it on a computer, and then you've got like a recording software, or you want to go live and record that, you can do that too. The recording software that you can use is Audacity. Audacity is 100% free, and it packs a lot of power. There's so much you can do in Audacity. Oops. I keep forgetting that I'm showing my screen. Hey, what's up, Santi? How you doing? So let's see what else. So USB microphones for the computer if you want to use your computer to record the audio. Again, some of the bigger brands, bigger name brands. Let's see, like USB microphone for PC. Let's see what they pull up on Amazon. These are pretty generic. I mean, they might work. Looks like a lot of purchases, 4.5 stars, 2,000 purchases, or 2,000 reviews. This one has 4,600 reviews, 4.5 stars, and it's only $55. Almost 3,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. I mean, these days in 2025, it's hard to find something that is not. It's hard to find something that's low quality. I mean, it's out there, but it's hard. It's hard to really sneak it by because of the amount of reviews. Like, people are leaving reviews like crazy nowadays, and so it's so easy to just look up a review, read a few, and then have an idea. Okay, is this going to work for me or not? So like this one here, it's $120. Costs a little bit more, but you got almost 20,000 reviews, and it's a 4.7 stars. So, this is a microphone that I was talking about the other day. Supposedly, this is a really good microphone. I haven't tried it, so I don't know. But it looks very intriguing. Very, very interesting. If this is kind of your flavor, and it's a condenser microphone, so you want to make sure that you have some kind of sound treatment. You can put a rug underneath you, hang some blankets on the sides of you, and try not to have low ceilings. You can help that if you do, right? So yeah, there's that. What else? Fafine, I think that's the same one. Fafine, I think this is another good brand. Fafine, I think. Might be a decent brand. Shure is extremely popular. Now, this is a more higher end microphone. I mean, $150 is pretty cheap for a Shure microphone. And Shure is a very well trusted brand. They're located here in the Chicagoland area. If you know where they're at, let me know in the comments. Let me know where they're at. If you know where they're at, let me know in the comments. So this is a USB microphone. What kind? It looks like it plugs into the back. There we go. You've got a headphone monitoring, and you've got your Type-C USB. And it comes with the desktop stand, which is really cool. A lot of times you have to buy the desktop stand separately, and it's only $150. That's not bad at all. So you plug this in. Right now, the way I have this set up is kind of like I have this microphone right here connected to my Zoom XLR, my Zoom H1 XLR, and then I have the USB out of the Zoom H1 XLR going into the computer, using it as an audio interface, right? So if I were to use a microphone like this Shure MV6, all I would need to do is just hook up the USB cable to the microphone, hook up the other end to the computer, and I would eliminate the Zoom audio interface, which is a lot easier, less equipment to deal with. It's a smaller footprint. These are things you got to consider when you're setting up your podcast studio. How much space do you have for equipment? How much space do you have for for the camera, for the lights, for the microphones? How many microphones, how many guests, and whatnot. Just things to consider. So there's that. Now, a lot of people are crazy about the Shure SM7B. It's like it's all I see this microphone on every single podcast. Why? That's some 7B. Here we go. Because it's what professionals use. It's what the broadcasters use. They use this microphone everywhere. So of course you're gonna see it a lot. Now the thing about these microphones, what I'm not crazy about, is that they're very, very sensitive. They can pick up like ambient room noise, and they can pick up reflections off the walls, off the ground, off the ceiling, and so you have to, like, I would recommend doing some sound treatment in your space. If you want to get a microphone like this, it's still a dynamic microphone, which is fine. But again, with my experience with these microphones, is that like, and they're not cheap microphones. $400, really? What is this? Built-in what? Built-in preamp. $500. Preamps are nice. Built-in preamp. That's interesting. Yeah, there it is right there. That's cool. Is it necessary? It depends. Again, it really depends on how treated your room is, your space is. Sound treatment is crucial, especially when it comes to podcasting, because you want crystal clear audio. Because especially when you're driving and you hear terrible audio, you're not watching anything. You're listening to the radio. So you want that crystal clear sound. You want that radio sound, professional radio sound, broadcast sound. So, yeah. I keep forgetting again. So, yeah, this microphone is very, very popular everywhere. But, again, $400 a mic. If you've got 2 people on, if you've got 4 people on, or if you got 8 people on your podcast, that's going to add up. And so that's just something to consider. Like, do you really need this microphone? After my USB microphones that I use, like the Rock Band ones, after those, I went up to dynamic microphones. I went to the Pile. Pile is like a really, really budget brand. Very, very budget. I went to like something like this. I think it was something like this. I think it was cheaper back then. But this is see this is right there. Last purchase, August 30th, 2017. Let me view my order. How much were they back then? I bought 4 of them at $14 a piece. And now go back. They went up only like $5. Now they're $20 a piece. But these were awesome. I used these for years. Uh-oh. Why did hold on. Time out. Real quick, let me just check something because I can't see. Okay, we're okay. Hold on, we're good. My camera made a noise. I was worried. Okay, back to this. So yeah, I bought 4 of these, and this is what I was using. Let's see if I go. Let me show you. I might have some BTS. Oops, white podcast. No, I want photos. Let's see if I can find. I don't know. Is it good at finding podcasts? No. Let's see. Maybe like radio show. I don't know. No. Maybe like let's see. Maybe if I can look up somebody. Man, I shouldn't. Okay, hold on. Microphone. Is it good at finding microphones? Kinda. Okay, these are really old. Got to be here somewhere. Okay, so here, what do we got? This is what I was using. Here, this old school. So this is, I think this is the Pile. That's the Pile microphone. I don't see Adrian's mic anywhere. I think these are the Pile microphones right there. This is old school. Oh, here it is right here. Pile microphone. I put a foam windscreen on there because, what is that, a Rebel? SL1, SL2 maybe? SL2? Let's see. Yeah, so you can see I bought them in 2017, and you can see here's a concept that I never really did. 2019, still using the Pile microphones. Here it is again. Oh no, that's a Shure microphone. That's a stage mic, performing mic. Here it is again. The Pile microphones right there. This is 2020. And then let's see, where else are we doing this? No, we stopped podcasting. Why does it feel like it sounds weird? And then I, after the Pile microphones, I upgraded to the Ceramonics, which were good. I'm not gonna lie, they sounded really great up until there's a Ceramonics. Up until I got, so here's Ceramonics right there, using the Ceramonic microphones. This is the Pile. That's an old picture. So here I've got everyone on the Ceramonic microphones. They gave me a good deal on those microphones. It wasn't bad. I wasn't complaining. You know, I was going to order some more. I was going to order 2 more. But then, I don't know, I just didn't really need it at the time. So, and then I found, let's see, this microphone right here. Actually, the microphone that I'm using right now. I found a great deal on these microphones, and they sound so much better than the Ceramonic microphones. They sound a lot better. It's the MXL 770s, which the guy at the store at Guitar Center was like trying to like, oh, this is the new model for the replacing the 990 or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, whatever. And I was like, oh, they're on sale, $40 a pop. I'm like, holy cow, $40 a pop. I'm like, all right, give me like 4 of them. I bought 4 of them right away. So that's that. You can see right here. So this is the new podcasting microphone, what I'm using right here. Someone wants to send you a message. Okay. I'll check that out in a minute. Okay, so there's that. So that's what I'm using now. This MXL 770, which it's a lower tiered microphone. I think brand new it's $100 or $150. Let me see. They are not on sale anymore. I was gonna buy more. I'm not lying. I was gonna buy all of, like, how many do you have? Let me see. MXL 770. I'm like, crap, they're not on sale anymore. No. Here we go. I was literally gonna buy more microphones. Oh, they're $100. I mean, $100 is still not bad. You know, I paid $40. Jesus, not right now. It came with a case. Case is okay. It's not like it's a cheap case, but whatever. You know, it's not bad for $40. So I have 4 of those. I still have my 2 Ceramonic microphones. You know, and then with processing, you know, down the line processing, you can make any microphone sound really, really good. So I'm not really too concerned because, you know, sometimes if I have multiple guests on, I have a mixer that I plug all the microphones into, and then from there it goes out to the stream. I can either send it to my video switcher, the audio into the video switcher, or I can send the audio to the computer, and then I can mix everything, or not mix it, but like I can send the stream out from the computer to wherever. So that's the audio setup, right? And then as far as like condenser microphones go, you can spend a ton of money on microphones, but like the more you spend, the value it brings like decreases one from another. It decreases more and more and more and more and more. Like, so it's like, I think it's called like the law of diminishing returns. And like, so if you upgrade from like your phone to a regular USB mic, the upgrade value is a lot. And then if you upgrade from a USB mic to like an XLR mic with decent preamps, the value is not as much as when you upgraded from your phone to USB mic, if that makes any sense, right? It still adds value, but it's not as much value as when it added in the previous upgrade. So, and then the more and more and more and more you spend, that value decreases. The upgrade value, it doesn't decrease, but it's like it increases by a little bit. If I'm not making any sense, let me know in the comments. So yeah, there's that. Now, Spotify allows you to upload not just audio, but also video. So we have video podcasts. Video podcasts have taken over like a lot. People are podcasting like crazy now. I see a lot more video podcasts now than ever. And so, and especially now Spotify is allowing you to, what do we got going on here? Oh, this is what I recorded earlier. We can close that. So this is everything I recorded earlier. So let me just delete. So video podcasting is a thing. Now, for video, again, you can use your phone. If you want to start there, use your phone. I would upgrade your microphone before you upgrade your video, whatever you're using for video. Upgrade your audio first. Make sure your audio is top notch. Once your audio is top notch, then we can start looking into video. Start with one camera. At least you have one feed. Just plop it on a tripod, set it down, hit record, and then just the most important thing here is your content. Is what the message that you're getting across to your listener or your viewer. So I would focus more on that, right? Have a strategy, have an outline, have organized thoughts, organized content, and that way you're not like shuffling around trying to figure out what to talk about. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? I'm just going off the cuff right now. I didn't prepare an outline. I didn't prepare like a specific route of what I was going to talk about. So yeah, use your phone. If you want to upgrade from your phone, like you've been using your phone for a good while and you want to upgrade, you need to upgrade. I think before you upgrade, the most important thing to really think about or understand is why you are upgrading. Why is it that you need a better microphone? Why do you need a better camera? Why do you need to upgrade? Why? You need to master your audio. You need to master your camera before you decide to upgrade. Because if you don't and you upgrade, you're just going to find that you're going to run into the similar problems because you haven't mastered the video camera. You haven't mastered the audio setup, your microphone setup, your post-processing for microphones, for how the audio is being recorded or whatnot, Understand all of that first. Okay, my microphone doesn't sound as clear. I wonder why. Let me try putting some blankets up. It sounds a little bit better, but I'm still not getting the best quality. Okay, let me add some audio effects in editing, because there's so much that you can do in editing nowadays. And it's so easy to do too. It doesn't take like an editing expert anymore. So before you upgrade anything, always know why you're upgrading. Understand why you're upgrading. So now going back to the video cameras, because there's so many things now, especially if you're introducing video into your podcast. Video makes it a lot more complex, mainly because video is not just putting a camera in front of you and then running with it. I have a light right here that is lighting me. I'm in my living room. If I were to turn off this light, it would look like crap. Let me see. Let me go back. So, I mean, it's this is I've got like the windows are blown out by the sun, which is fine. I'm not really worried about that. Or the doors from the French doors, the windows, the glass, whatever. But if I were to just turn off this light, let me see. I think this might be on the app. Here we go. Sure. Settings. Device. WLAN. Password. Let me see. Maybe if okay, I see two lights. I wonder which one is which. Let's see. You know what? Let me go get the remote. Maybe if I go get the remote. Stand by. Okay, dokie, Smokey. I am back. I want to see which one is which. Let me just turn it off. Okay, so if I were to turn off this light, is it going? There we go. So this is what I look like, or this is what the shot looks like without the help of this LED light that I have right in front of me. Obviously you can see that it looks terrible. Now I can expose the camera to this setting, but however, then that means I would have to, like, the aperture is already wide open. So then that means, and my shutter speed, I don't even know what my shutter speed is right now. Yeah, my shutter speed is right where it needs to be at 60, because we're shooting this at 30 frames per second, right? So then I can't change my aperture. I can't open up anymore. So that means I would have to bump the ISO. If I bump the ISO, then we would start to introduce noise into the image, which I am not a fan of a dirty image. I like a nice clean image, and so we have this light. And I've got it at 100%. So if you've been one of my talents, and I've blasted the light in your eyes really, really bright, then just know I'm not only doing it to you, I do it to myself as well. 100%. Bright. It's got to be bright. It's got to be really bright. And then that way I can expose, to where we need to be. So anyways, so then, yeah, introducing video, you have to get some kind of light. Again, you don't want... Come on, you can work. Come on, fo. There. You don't want to shoot an environment like this. Even if I were to expose to this, even if I didn't care about noise, like this wouldn't look good either, because you've got the lights are coming straight down from the ceiling, and then you've got my hat is blocking a lot of that light, and it's creating these shadows, like this shadow on my face, and also then you want to change the white balance to whatever the light color the lights are in here. So now I can just grab this panel, and then now we look pretty good, pretty decent. If you think that looks pretty decent, let me know in the comments. Okay, so lights. Yeah, so cameras. Again, start with your phone. If you have a Mac and you have an iPhone, cool. And if it's like it's like one of the latest Macs and one of the latest iPhones, they have this thing called like where it'll automatically, you can send the camera over to the Mac, the iPhone camera over to the Mac like wirelessly. You don't have to hook anything up, and then you can just use the software like OBS, have your microphone feeding into OBS, have your iPhone camera feeding into OBS, put it on a tripod, and then you're good to go. You can start streaming. You can just record into OBS, or you can record onto your camera or on your phone. So that's a really cool option. If you must upgrade to a higher end camera, there's a million different budgets. There's low budgets, there's higher budgets. Again, it really depends on what your needs are. And it also, the way I have it set up right now, because I'm using my ADD, the ADD does not have a clean HDMI output. And so I'm actually using the Canon's EOS web utility tool. So I have a USB cable plugged into the camera, USB cable plugged into the laptop, and I'm going into OBS with it, and then getting my camera feed that way, so that way I can have a nice clean video out without having to worry about, and while maintaining like autofocus and stuff like that. If I wanted a clean HDMI output out of the Canon, I would have to turn off autofocus, because it gives me that box, that focusing box, if I leave it on. But then I wouldn't have autofocus or continuous autofocus. So again, with cameras, it really ranges. I really like to use video cameras, like actual video cameras, camcorders, because it's a lens and a camera already in one. If you get like a mirrorless camera, a DSLR, you're spending a lot of money on the body, then you got to spend money on a lens, and then you got to spend money on like an external power supply, because those batteries don't last very long, whereas video cameras, it's already a lens and the body put together, and plus it comes with the power supply to maintain power up to however many hours you need, whereas with mirrorless cameras and DSLRs, it's totally different. That's just not how they work. They're not really made for providing constant video source. Video cameras are like camcorders. So I like camcorders. Like the Sony camcorders are great. Canon camcorders are great. They have good autofocus. You need more light than you would on a mirrorless, right? And it might not as look as like cinematic or whatever, but like they get the job done and they work really well. If you get like a newer, higher end camcorder, then you can get that to look, pretty cinematic. You want like maybe more of a broadcast feel you get with that. So, and if you're podcasting, then yeah, that'll work fine. But if you're like also making like video content, if you're making anything that has to do with filmmaking or whatever, or documentary and stuff like that, then maybe, sure, I would still go with a video camera, like a camcorder, you know, if you can. Now camcorders the pricing ranges from like $150 for the lower end, and then they can go up to even like $25,000 for a camcorder. Can you believe it? Broadcast cameras that you see that they use on like the news, that you see like them using for like street interviews, those cameras can range from like $5,000 to $25,000. So really depends on your budget, what your needs are. If you don't need all that fancy gadget stuff like ND filters and audio inputs, XLR inputs on a camera, then getting a lower end camcorder is going to be just fine. They have similar technologies. It's just the features that they add on to each camera. So, what is this? What else? Okay, so the next thing if you have any questions about camcorders or cameras, let me know in the comments. Again, it really depends. Like, additional equipment that you might need depends on the kind of camera that you select. Like here with this 80D, the way I'm using it, I have a USB cable plugging into the laptop and using it as a webcam. Right, so then I get that DSLR look. It's nice and clean. I get the autofocus. It looks great, and it comes in as a USB camera. Now, this is great if I was just one person, one feed. It would work fine. But if I were to start to introduce another Canon camera using the same method, the USB camera, USB cable, then this is where I found problems in the past. In the beginning, I used actual webcams, USB webcams, and I mounted them everywhere. And I had multiple. The computer would get confused as to which camera was which driver belonged to which camera, and then it would like stop working. Like, it was annoying. And then I upgraded to like a capture card, HDMI capture card, but then also that was kind of like a similar setup because it came in as a USB webcam. It still came in as a USB webcam, even though it was an HDMI capture card. So I had HDMI video going out to the capture card and then USB coming out of that. And I ran into that problem a lot too. So it's like, crap, what do I do? So if I have multiple sources, multiple video sources, feeds, multiple cameras, I have multiple people on the show. So then I have to have like my single shot, the guest single shot, and then a 2-shot of both of us. And then, depending on what we're talking about, maybe I have like a desk camera or just another creative angle, or maybe I have a laptop that I'm showing something, a laptop feed. Maybe we're reacting to videos, stuff like that. So then now you have all of these multiple sources, video sources going to your stream or being recorded or what have you. And so now we have to consider expanding, how we're going to set that up, expanding our equipment by getting some kind of video switcher. The video switcher that I use is a Blackmagic 810 Mini Pro. I purchased that switcher when I first started doing live streaming for clients. I started, I would show up on site. You have multiple cameras everywhere. Hook everything up to the switcher. I would hook that switcher up to the computer and start streaming. We did like Zoom calls and stuff like that, but then also recorded as well. So yeah, that's the switcher I use is Blackmagic. I want to upgrade. I would like to upgrade. I don't really need to upgrade right now because again, my studio is not put together. And I'm kind of like on the fence about like you got to think about this. Like, okay, I want to upgrade to the Blackmagic ATEM Extreme. Blackmagic ATEM Mini Extreme. Is it Mini Extreme? Let me see. ATEM Mini. Yeah. It's the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. So I don't want to go to B&H because B&H sucks. Always making me answer these questions. Why are you asking all them questions? Let's go back to this here. So this is the ATEM. I have the Pro, which, we can look at that. ATEM Mini Pro. I don't have the ISO. I just have a regular Pro. We'll go to Sweetwater because I don't like B&H. B&H cookies and stuff. This is what I have. And I've been using this for years. And it's a great tool. It's really, really great. You've got 4 HDMI inputs, so you can connect cameras. You can connect your computer to it. And then 1 HDMI output, which is what I use for my multi-viewer. You've got a USB out. That's what I use for streaming. So it acts as if like it turns this whole unit into like a webcam. So anything you're sending through here, and you send it to the program feed, it's gonna show up as a webcam on that feed. And then you've got 2 audio inputs there, which is what I use. I hook up like my mixer to there, the output on the mixer, I hook it up to there, or whatever audio device I'm using, I hook it up into there. If I'm not using like an audio interface already. So this comes with a whole bunch of features. Like it comes with keying, picture-in-picture, stuff like that. It's really cool. Which is probably what I could have. Nah, I'm not even using it right now because again, I only got 1 camera feed. If I had multiple camera feeds, then I would use it. Right now, I just got the 1 feed, and I can use it as a USB webcam, so I'm good. But what I do want, it's always popping up. What I do want to upgrade to is this one here. This is Jesus cookies, man. This thing's a monster. Don't let the buttons scare you. This is each channel, so 1 through 8. So each of these is for channel 1. All these buttons are for channel 2, yada yada, so on and so forth. And it's not as daunting as it looks. The cool thing about this is ISO. This is why it's so powerful, is because of the ISO. It records each individual input separately it records each individual input separately on its own track. Oh, the camera went out and went on again? That's weird. Okay, so let's take a look. This one doesn't show the back of it, but that's that. Let me see if I can find a... Not going to be in there. Here we go. We'll go to the Blackmagic website. And this just, whatever stuff. So here's the back of it. So this is what I'm more interested in. Here we go. Crap. Okay, so this is like right here. 2 HD. What I really like is 2 HDMI outputs and 2 USBs. That's what I'm really more interested in. Like all these inputs, sure, great, fine. I don't really need all of them. This one actually has headphone monitoring. The one that I have does not. But this is what I'm more interested in, is the HDMI, 2 HDMI outs and 2 USB outs. So what that does is I can hook up. Always need a multi-viewer, right? You always need to see all your feeds on one screen, so that I can use 1 HDMI out for that. For the second one, I can send the program feed out and send it to like a splitter. I can send that to a splitter, which then I can send to multiple streams, whether I want to stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, what else? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. What's another one? YouTube. Did I say YouTube? yada 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 yada. You can however many streams you want to send out, you can do it. You can use one of the HDMI outs to send a program, and then send that feed out to like a splitter, and then depending on the size of the splitter, then you can send it to multiple streams, and it also depends on how fast your internet is as well. 2 USBs. Why do I like 2 USBs? Because then I can use one USB to record. I can use one USB to record internally. The other one I can use as the webcam. So then I can send it into OBS. I can either have a backup record, or I can also send that out to another stream as well. OBS does have an option to do a multi-stream. I tried it. It wasn't really working. I'll have to try it again later. But this is why I would like something like the ATEM Mini Extreme. Again, my studio is not ready for this, and so I want to upgrade to it, but I don't really need to right now. But then I also don't want to, because it's a lot of money. Because okay, so then again, like this is what I was gonna talk about earlier, is like, okay, so you upgrade to this, and then now what does that mean? Oh, I get 8 outputs. Okay, so now I'm gonna buy more video cameras because I've expanded the amount that I can use, right? And I went from 4 sources to like 8 sources. Okay, cool. So now, boom, let's get creative with cameras. So yeah, it's like, if you upgrade this, you're not just going to upgrade that one item. You're also going to upgrade everything else that works with it, right? So you're going to get multiple cameras. So each camera is going to cost a certain amount depending on what you need, right? If you're getting a camcorder, great. Camcorders run anywhere from like, a good camcorder would run anywhere from like $800 to like $3,000 for a good camcorder. So now multiply that by at least, okay, so let's think about it. If you've got two people on your podcast, one camera for one person, one camera for the other person, and then a third camera for the two of you. So that's at least 3 cameras. And then you've got a laptop feed if you want to put a laptop feed. Now you can add another camera. So let's say you have 3 people on your podcast. Okay, so that's 1 camera for each person, and then 1 camera for all 3 of you for like the whole studio, or whatever the whole shot is, whatever. If you got 4 people, okay, now we got to try to get creative. Do we want to buy more cameras, or do we want to kind of like play with the setup, right? The shot size. So maybe if we got 4 people, we do 1 2-shot or 2 2-shots. So 1 camera on 2 people, another camera on 2 people. That's 4 people, right? And then we have a third camera on the whole setup. But then also, if you one thing I worry about there is if one person is talking, so then you've got the camera on that one person, but it's a 2-shot. So then you have the other person, and what if they're like checking their phone? They're like, who knows? They're like fixing their face, or like they're picking their nose, or who knows what they're doing. And it's like, okay, what the hell? You've got that in the shot. So then it helps to have one camera per person. So then it's 4 cameras. Then you've got your whole wide shot of everybody, right? So again, it really, really depends on the size of your podcast, how much space you have. Because then not only that, also you need the cables to go with it. Long HDMI cables, long power cables, power strips, audio cables, all that jazz. So if you wanna go up from here, if you're like more professional, then we can actually go to something like these guys, these television studios. These are great. Again, I would always recommend an ISO version. I mean, yeah, this is 4K and it's great. 4K is awesome. 4K, YouTube tends to boost 4K videos, 4K content a lot more than HD content, but still, like, having the flexibility of ISO, it's a total game changer because, again, it records each source individually, right? So then if you're live and you're switching and you miss a cut, or I don't know, for some reason the camera went out, so you had to switch that on the live to a different source. With ISO and it's recording each individual source, then you can fix it in post, because it takes all of those sources, it puts it on each individual, it puts it on a track of its own in DaVinci Resolve. When we're talking about the ATEM, the Blackmagic hardware, puts it in, it creates a DaVinci Resolve project. It takes all of the sources and puts it on a timeline, and it's already all synced up. And it even has the program feed on top, I think it is. And then all you have to do is just do your splicing, fix that one cut that you missed, or however many cuts you missed, or maybe where a camera failed, and you have to, because again, mirrorless cameras are not meant to be on for hours and hours and hours, and so they tend to overheat depending on what camera you're using. So yeah, this is why I would always recommend an ISO. Always get something that records individual feeds. So yeah, that's these guys here. It would be nice if they made this in a 4K ISO. That would be really cool. I would definitely be up for that. So now we're talking about, higher end stuff. They have a mini Pro, kind of like the one I have, but it's an ISO version, which is fine. However, again, the reason I wouldn't want to go with this, this is not, where is it? Mini Pro ISO. I've seen one on Marketplace, but I thought about it, and I can figure out a way to make it work. However, then I would have to get additional equipment. Not only would I have to get additional equipment that's going to take up more space, more equipment, more cables, but also I'm going to end up spending around the same amount if I were to just upgrade to the extreme ISO. And so that's that. Again, I can send each feed through like a video recorder, like one of those what's it called, the Blackmagic Video Assist. I can send each feed through a Blackmagic Video Assist. I can record on all of those and still use my current A10 Mini Pro, but now I have to use, I have two already, so that means I would have to get two more monitors, two more video assists, right? And then I would have to route each feed to the video assist, and then route from the video assist to the switcher. So that's like additional cables being, snaked everywhere. And then not only that, then I would have to take the SD card out, dump the footage, and then sync it. Whereas if I were just to get the extreme ISO, I could just hit record. I don't need additional equipment to record each individual feed, and then it automatically creates the DaVinci Resolve project, and it creates the timeline, and it puts everything on the timeline for you, and it's already synced up. All you gotta do is just tweak the splicing, and even then, you can in DaVinci Resolve, there's a thing where you can actually have it can distinguish who's speaking, and then it'll cut on its own depending on who is speaking, and then it's like one and done. I'm just dreaming. I'm just dreaming. So yeah. Again, I don't know when I'm gonna upgrade. I don't know yet. I'm trying to get my homeboy Adam to get the podcast studio set up over there, so I don't have to have one here at my house. I can just go rent the studio there, and I can use all the high-end equipment, and I can run all of my shows from over there. I have no problem doing that, and that saves me a lot of. Is my thing still going? That saves me a lot of hassle of having to set up my studio here. Of course, yeah, I like doing it. I like having a studio where I can create content, but I think this is good enough for me. If I want to continue my shows that I do. So like the Filmmaker Forum, I want to continue what you're on. I want to continue, this is good enough for me and my podcast right here, what we're doing right now, which is one camera, USB, one light, one microphone, very, very simple setup, nothing too crazy. But the setup where I want a nice set design, multiple guests, high-end cameras and equipment, and then something that's going to actually can become profitable, that's where I need a dedicated studio. And I have the space, but I don't have all of the equipment that I want. I don't want to settle for less when it comes to the equipment. So I used to use those little tiny rinky-dinky camcorders, which are fine. They work great. But they have they can be hassles of their own. They have their obstacles, They're not the best image quality. The color renditions, it isn't always the greatest. And so I would rather just use better equipment. And because for someone like me, because I'm a producer and I produce multiple podcast shows, not just my own podcast, but I produce other podcasts. So that's why for someone like me, I would benefit from much more high-end gear and a much more dedicated setup. So that's pretty much it. Now, as far as lighting goes, in my studio here at home, my home studio, I have lights mounted into the ceiling, and that when I mounted the lights in the ceiling, that was a game changer for me. I no longer needed light stands. It was just like a small ladder, get up there, tweak the light, and have it set up, and we're done. Light stands take up floor space. Tripods take up floor space, and so you want to kind of think about how you're going to do that as well. The cheaper lights are not as bright as more expensive lights. However, you don't need to spend a ton of money on lights. You don't need the bigger name brand lights. You don't need aperture. You don't need, I don't even know what's above aperture. Godox works. It's fine. Even the lower end stuff, GVM works. This is a Came. I think this is a Came TV. Yeah, this is a Came TV light, which it works. I got it pretty inexpensively. It works fine. Yeah, so if you want some recommendations, I can write you some recommendations. If you're thinking about starting a podcast and you need help, feel free to reach out. It's always great to have someone who has already experienced all of the ups and downs from podcasting, from making video content for the internet and stuff like that. I have podcasts on Spotify. Let's see, I started with the Help Desk Central podcast, and that one was doing pretty well. Lifetime, even in the last 30 days, I have 19 streams, and that podcast is really old. I started that podcast in August of 2017, and I'm still getting streams, and I don't even know. I think I only have a few episodes. I have, let me see. Episodes. I'm just looking at this. Here, I can show it to you, I guess. I have nothing really. Okay, so here we go. Where are we at? So this is old. I only have 5 episodes. It's 4 those, 1 intro episode, 6 minutes long. These are really short episodes too. They're not long at all. Quick tip, 7 minutes. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a quick tip. I might redo these. I don't know. Let's take a look at the analytics. I'm still getting plays. I'm still getting listens. 19 in the last 30 days. Streams per starts. Let's see. All time. 1,680 streams. So it's still getting listens. I should probably continue. It's about IT stuff. I worked at Help Desk in IT. I worked IT for the past 10 years or so. So something I was really passionate about. How You're Thinking Live. I don't even know how many plays this thing gets. 0 streams. It's been And this is not as old as the other one, and I have more episodes on here. I have more episodes on this podcast than all the other ones. Do I? Don't I? How many episodes? Yeah, I've got a bunch. Not a lot of plays, but whatever, you know. So maybe the IT stuff. Maybe I should get back into that. Just do a thing here and there, because it's the 19 streams. It's not great. It's not phenomenal, but I mean, for a podcast with only 5 episodes, and this was with USB microphones, the Rockstar, Rock Band microphone, SingStar. I got What You On here. I don't even know if I have episodes on here yet. I don't remember if I uploaded anything. Yeah, I haven't uploaded anything, but it's on here. In the Driver's Seat is on here. So this is my car content podcast. So let's see. Let's take a look at the analytics. No. 0 streams in the last 30 days, 21 all time. So dude, this help desk. I mean, the help desk central. I'm surprised it's getting more than everything else. So I've got 98 Spotify followers. Okay, well, anyways, what was I getting into? What's it called? Skippity doo-dah, skippity day. I gotta get going. So again, if you need help, feel free to reach out by any means. Please reach out. Let's see. I have a paragraph I want to read real quick. It's something that I'm gonna put on my website. It's not active yet, but it will be pretty soon. It's a service that I'm gonna be providing. Shit. This token has already been used. What does that mean? Okay, whatever. Pages, podcast. Okay, so the spiel I got is starting a podcast is exciting, but figuring out the right equipment, setup, and workflow can be overwhelming. Without expert guidance, you risk wasting money on unnecessary gear, struggling with poor audio quality, and spending hours troubleshooting avoidable mistakes. That's where professional podcast studio consulting comes in. By hiring an expert, you'll skip the guesswork, get a setup tailored to your needs and budget, and learn industry best practices from day one. Whether you're launching your first podcast or upgrading your current setup, professional consulting ensures you get studio quality results while saving time and money. Let's build your podcast studio the right way, efficiently, effectively, and stress-free. Well, if you liked today's episode, thank you. Let me know in the comments. Please like, subscribe, comment on the way out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bye-bye.